All right, good morning, everyone. Let's get going. All right, U.S. markets, great little rally on Friday. I think we finished up about 0.5% pretty much across the board on most indexes. You can see there we really just grinded it higher the entire day, with most sectors up on the day. We had another all-time closing high on the S&P, and we continue to stretch our legs up toward the higher 20% number in terms of gains on the year. So we're really kind of getting closer to the end of the year, obviously now in the last week of November, and kind of looking like, there's not that much that can stop us for just a complete year-end rally, possibly even a year-end squeeze. We had more commentary out of Fed's Lockhart saying that the scaling back on asset purchases was reliant on continued evidence of economic recovery, which is really just means nothing. I don't think that's everybody knows that, and everybody's waiting for that. So I think it's just further jargon that, and we're going to continue to watch that going forward. But the bottom line is there's nothing to really. There's no market data that was really over the top brilliant last week. Nothing. No one. I don't think that the interest rates aren't pushing high enough to really start to give a real sell-off in markets. So we continue to drift higher. Asian markets also trading higher nicely there. You can see there across the board. Nikkei has really been on fire as of late. Really, this weakening yen, I think, has been leading the charge there. And we also had a big thing that happened over the weekend, which is obviously the nuclear program in Iran, which is essentially been put into some sort of containment with a global agreement there. That obviously took a little bit of the froth out the oil markets, and I think that'll continue to take a little bit out of the oil markets. There's a lot of things that are happening right now that can contribute to an oil pullback in the oil price over the next few months. So I think we got to continue to monitor that going forward. Doesn't necessarily mean that if the oil price is coming down over the next few months that's a bearish signal for the economy. I think it's going to have more to do with supply-demand issues than anything. So we'll continue to monitor that going forward, but I think that can impact markets greatly. All right, if we look at there's two stocks going to ex-div today. That's Steinhoff and Vodacom. Obviously a monster div coming out of Vodacom, or a big div coming out of Vodacom. So don't screw that up this morning and forget that that's there. We also had SAB Miller, which was raised to overweight versus equal weight at Morgan Stanley this morning. Continue to get some good news out of Miller's. And then market data today really light. I do think the next couple days are jam-packed though, so the markets could be a little bit quiet today, kind of going into what is a really heavy day of data the next couple days, and we'll have to watch and see how that plays out. So we've got U.S. pending home sales today, and that's really it. All right, let's jump into the maps. We got quite a lot to look at today. We finally had a sell-off. We finally had some sort of a correction on on Thursday and Friday, which I don't even remember the last time we've seen that. I want to start out just by looking at platinum. The reason why I'm going to show this is just because, we've been looking at gold. Gold has really been coming off the boil. You can see here Platinum really dropping support in my mind on a closing basis. Either way you look at it, we've dropped out the bottom a little bit here in Platinum, and gold really just continues to be under pressure. We're under further pressure this morning at 1232 on the gold price, and Platinum is really looking like it's following suit. And the thing is, there's actually some bullish news out there for platinum. Zimbabwe is basically passing a law, forbidding the exporting of platinum before it's refined, so they can keep all the refining of platinum there at home. That's a definitely. I don't even think that they have the capacity probably to refine half of the platinum that they put out at the moment. So that's definitely a bullish thing for the price at the moment. It still hasn't been able to hold up under those scenarios. We've got some of the stocks. I'll actually jump into the back of those real quick. Plats I'll just have a quick look at here, which you can see really dropping out of a little bit of support there, sort of around 400, and you can see that we're in a nice close below that as of Friday, starting to look like it can maybe even come down to test at least this 200-day moving average. If you look at sort of the the pattern that we're dropping out of. I think the target can even be lower than that, closer to around 360. So just watch these things. If the platinum price continues to be under pressure, obviously we've seen what's happened with the gold prices. The fact that the platinum price, even with all the striking going on, we got Northam striking, we got Amplat striking, we've got Zimbabwe screwing around, and the price still can't get up. You can see it in these shares the last couple of days. These Amplats and these Impalas. Impalas have been under much more significant pressure. I'll just have a quick gander of that. I mean, we've had a 2-day drop, a huge 2-day drop, maybe coming into a little bit of support, kind of close to here, but nevertheless, definitely the platinum price continues to be under pressure. All right, we're going to look at ABSA. Just have a look at ABSA here. I mean, even if you're going back on 2 year, I know we talked about this 10 times. This level that dropped on Friday, very significant. We did kind of blip down here. This is all going back over a year ago, though. But bottom line is, I think we really have dropped support on ABSA. I mean, we're going to have to watch how it plays out this morning, and we're expecting the market obviously to open higher. This thing hasn't been able to get any sort of a rally, so just watch this closely. The 34.50 to 35 level is very key. We know this. I just wanted to point that out and remind you guys. Until we kind of get it back above there, I don't think you can believe the bounces. All right, Billiton. We're also this is a chart that we've shown a lot over the past few weeks. Just wanted to point out as well, we have dropped support in Billiton. I still think this chart's looking very bullish. I would maybe look to, if you're looking to get involved here, looking at buying on this trend support here, maybe around 297, 297, 298. Wouldn't be surprised if we come down and test. I'm not looking for a big correction in this thing. The numbers were just too good. And I think that they are so superior to the others that the guys are going to be looking to buy these on pullbacks and not buy the other ones regardless. All right, Kumba. Kumba also, let's shorten it up a touch here so we can see it a little bit better. Kumba obviously dropped out the bottom a little bit on Friday as well. Kind of bounced a little bit into the close. I mean, on a closing basis, I think the level's at around 404 here, which potentially takes us to a target all the way down to, closer to 360, maybe even 355. But if you look here, I mean, this really goes all the way across to this little wick that we had here, and so it makes this level definitely more significant. For me, we didn't quite push far enough below this level to really make it, a pronounced breakdown. But we'll have to see how it plays out today. If this thing can't regain the 400 level in the next session or two, I think it's really gonna test the downside. Like we said, Anglos, Kumba. A lot of all the local miners have been under pressure, and I think that's really key, and that's the difference between the Billitons and the locals at the moment. People still don't like the locals after we had this big rally. They're still not liking them. All right, we'll look at Sasol real quickly here. I just wanted to kind of to have a look at where some support may be. I think we've dropped support on maybe a trend line basis. Just look at it. We'll look at it from a closing basis. From a closing basis, we kind of drop support on trend line. If you draw this thing from the wicks, then we haven't dropped support, and support really comes in pretty much very close here where lateral support is and where the 50-day moving average is. So I think if we try to run off of that, you can see here somewhere around this 494 to 496 level, 497, where the 50-day moving average is probably where we're going to find some support in Sasol. It's definitely been the one. I mean, you can see from this chart alone, you have to buy it on pretty much every pullback over the past year and a bit. It could be under pressure because the oil price is down a little bit today. I don't know, but nevertheless, I think this is still one to buy on pullbacks. All right, MTN, look at a 2 year here real quick. At MTN also, I mean, every significant pullback has really been to be bought. If you look there, we kind of came down and tested it intraday on the wicks. On Friday, we managed to make a huge bounce into the close. I think we traded at 189 only about an hour and a half before the close. We closed at 93.66, so we probably bounced over 2% into the close. I would look for a retest of that. May not be a bad level to have a nibble on MTN if we get that chance. And then the last one I want to show here is Foschini. Foschini, obviously, let's shorten it up a little bit here. Foschini, this level, we've shown it 10 times over the last little while. We know how important this level is. We tweeted this on Friday, really breaking down of some sort of a head and shoulder. The right shoulder is a little bit of a cripple shoulder here. Hasn't been working out. But bottom line is, I think this level has very, very high significance regardless, even if you don't like the head and shoulder setup. The fact that we dropped sort of 102.50 to 103, wherever that level is there, very important, and I think that we're probably going to come down, at least test the lows of the year here, unless there's some sort of deal that happens here. You got to remember, a lot of people expecting some sort of deal to happen, with them selling off their financing unit. If a lot of long positions probably in the stock, the fact that it's dropping support, maybe force some selling into the share, and can be a reason why we can potentially test the lows in the stock. And that's it for today, guys. Thanks a lot.